Hey guys, I'm sure if you found this video you're looking to do a oil pan on a 2.0 TFSI. This is a '05 A4 Quattro. Um, it gave me a oil pressure warning, so I decided to drop the oil pan, check the pickup, make sure it's not clogged, and make sure my balance shafts didn't have any play. As far as dropping the pan, which is a pretty demanding process, it's time consuming. Your best bet is just to drop the K-member, or subframe I should say, down a little bit. I took out, obviously you're going to need to take out anything connected to the pan. I'm not going to tell you all the tools you need, because if I have to tell you what tools you need, you probably shouldn't be doing this job. So, as long as you have your metric sockets and breaker bars and all that good stuff, torque wrenches. I did have to take the sway bar out, the motor mounts out. What I ended up doing was supporting the engine up above from the hook there. I have a little overhead deal there I made just to hold the engine up. It doesn't have to support a lot of weight. So that's holding the engine up, and then I jacked the transmission up with the little block underneath. That way I could get sufficient room to get my hands in here. And then when you undo the rear bolts on the subframe, you don't have to take the bolts all the way out. Just let them down far enough that you can take the front bolts all the way out, but that will still hold it up some. It's like there's really not that much weight there. I can sit here and move this up and down by hand. So, but yeah, once you get the subframe dropped down, then you have all kinds of room to work. I also did have to take the AC compressor down, which it's a little tricky, but it's not too bad. You take out the 3 bolts here, the connectors to the compressor, the oil level sensor, and the engine mount. Tuck the wire up out of the way up here. And then what I did, I had a friend hold a 17 mil wrench on the belt tensioner, and then I pulled the belt off, stuck a bungee cord through it, and then bungee corded it to the front of the bumper. That way I didn't lose my belt, because you can see there's like hardly any room to work there. So, and then you just grab another bungee cord and let this down. That way this darn thing isn't in your way when you're trying to get your pan in and out. You'll just want to make sure you get good RTV silicone sealant when you put this back in. Get a nice solid bead on there so it won't leak. And be very careful when you put it back up in. That way you don't bump it on anything and ruin your bead. Probably the hardest part about the whole job were these 2 bolts right here in the back. These are the 2 hidden bolts. This is the transmission bell housing. And on the left one, you can see I had to grind that out because this hole wasn't even there. I had no access to that bolt at all. I had to drill that hole out and then take a carbide burr and grind that out of there. I just used just a regular 5mm Allen wrench to get that one out. Both of these actually. All these bolts that hold the pan in are a 10 mil hex, or you can use a 5 mil Allen. These were an M16 hex or an M8 Allen. And then this bolt up here with the nut on it, there is an M8 socket head cap screw on the back side holding that in there. And I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The bolts holding these mounts, engine mounts, and the subframe are M18 hex. Oh yeah, and I also had to undo the transmission mounts, obviously. because I had to push that up. So, you kind of get the gist of it. Yeah, so snub mount obviously has to come out too, because you got to shove the engine up. So I guess if there's anything I missed, just write a comment, and I may not get to it immediately, but I'll try to get to it at some point in time. So, alright, thanks for watching. Hope this helps.